Hi, this is Crystal Merritt in speech number 3. Should gay marriage be legalized? When a couple is in love, the next logical step for two consenting adults is to get married. If you're in a same-sex relationship, this normal progression is not as attainable for you as it is for a heterosexual couple. In this country, there are only 6 places who perform same-sex marriages: Connecticut, Iowa, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, and Washington, D.C. For me, this particular topic is somewhat personal because my sister has been in a gay relationship for about 3 years. And it does bother me to know that legally, in the state of New York, she can't get married. That's something that the government has deprived her of. So who decides who we can and cannot marry? A person has the right to choose who to marry without regard to race, creed, color, gender, or sexual orientation. So why has this ban been put on gay marriage? Americans pride themselves on freedom, yet we're deprived from choosing who we want to marry. That's not fair at all, if you ask me. So a ban on gay marriage infringes on our freedom to choose. It also violates human rights. People have the right to choose their spouse. United Nations Declaration of Human Rights, Article 16, defines this right as a man and a woman. But why can't it be a man and a man or a woman and a woman? Why can't we, as consenting adults, choose who we want to spend the rest of our lives with? Who we want to parent our children with? This is a clear example that homosexuals and heterosexuals don't have the same rights. They are not on equal playing grounds. There are things that we as heterosexuals have that homosexuals don't have. Certain rights, the way people look at you. The government has limited who we can marry, which is a violation of our human rights. This sounds familiar. History has shown us that this has happened before, not with homosexuality, but with interracial marriages. Up until 1967, it was illegal to marry outside of your race. This sounds familiar, doesn't it? We still can't marry the same gender now. So at what point is that going to change? When are we going to look at our history and see that it's okay? An interracial marriage didn't destroy our way of life, and a homosexual marriage will also not destroy our way of life. So why is this still happening? I think it's a fear of change. I think it's a fear of what people know as marriage today. A man and a woman and children and a white picket fence and that whole thing. But that's challenged every day. We have single mothers and single fathers every day trying to raise parents. So who cares if it's 2 men or 2 women raising children in a loving household? I think this change would be good for our society. The more loving parents we have, the better. Who cares what their gender is? Who cares who they're married to? So I talked about gay marriage being banned in all but 6 places nationwide, and how this infringes on our basic human rights, which can be compared to the legality of interracial marriages. Nobody has the right to tell a consenting adult who they can and cannot marry. Whatever your opinion is about homosexuality, as free Americans, we all have the right to choose our spouse.